Hiya, and welcome back to Glory Hounds. The game that teaches us that this is literally just furry Batman. Like, I swear to God, this is literally just furry Batman. This is literally just furry Batman. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Ah, shit. I forgot. I can't run the thing. Hang on. There we go. I can't load the save because it'll break. I forgot. I got fucked up saves. Damn it. Alright, let's actually hop right in. I know. The thorn in Milo's side. Issue number 4. The thorn in Milo's side. Yeah, I know I don't have to load a save, however, that's like my default go-to, loading a save. Ah! Ah. The clatter of wooden swords rings through the dimly lit training hall. Sweat beads at my brow, but I pay it no heed and give my opponent no quarter. Gritting my teeth, I ready myself once again. Only to realize that I am in fact not streaming this. Gritting my teeth, I ready myself once again. He's going down this time. I see you are finally putting in effort. He, too, is starting to strain ever so slightly, breathing just a little bit harder. And yet he still blocks every single strike and poke I throw his way as if it were mere child's play. I'm not giving up anytime soon, Milo. Good, because I was not planning on letting you rest yet. Finishing blow! I smacked the sword out of his hand with a large overhead swing, leaving him defenseless. Good work. Ha! I beat you! As soon as I aim the sword at him, he grips it by its wooden blade, yanking it from my hand before flipping it over and pointing it right at me. Not quite, Duskhound. A swipe of his legs under mine, and I'm on the floor. I stare up at the lights when the crow's silhouette comes into view. His smile betrays him. You will not defeat me like that, Duskhound. Yeah, but we did our best. So close. I've been working with Raoul and Milo for a couple weeks now. It's only been a little while, but things have changed considerably, and to be honest, so have I. Mostly for the better. I don't think I could have gotten so close to a couple of good hits done on Milo when I was just starting out. Still, some things never change. Okay, that was a dirty trick. You should never let down guard. Yeah, well, neither should. I kick at his legs. They don't give way. In fact, it just ends up hurting my ankle. You were saying? Nothing. That is spirit. He flips the sword around, offering me the grip. I take it. It's warm and damp with sweat from how tightly I was gripping it. You are improving. Do you have to say it like that? Oh, sarcastic. I am not being sarcastic, Duskhound. It is truth. I get up and soothe my sore spots. Reaction time has improved considerably since initial training. You get knocked down as much as I do on a daily basis. That's only natural. What is more, you actually landed several strikes today. I think you have earned praise and maybe some tea. Wait, we're taking a break? Did hell freeze over? No, I am simply thirsty. Plus, I have to prepare for an event tomorrow. Event? Please change to civilian garb, then follow me to greenhouse. I will explain there. I like how we're just a sidekick. In all my weeks training with Milo and Raoul at this mansion so far, this is the first time I've been inside the greenhouse. I've only ever seen it from the outside, so I thought it'd be as shabby as the rest of this place. Turns out it's anything but. Large plants, fruits, vegetables, and beautiful flowers in myriad colors stretch across its entire length, covering almost every inch of the place. All perfectly maintained with not a single weed in sight. There's a bunch of very strong smells here, sweet, bitter, and yet they're smells that all complement one another. Milo sets down a tea tray on a small glass table between us and sits down next to me. Take one of the porcelain teacups. It feels just as delicate and fragile in my hands as it looks. Which probably means Raoul's never touched it before. So, this is your usual hangout spot, huh? I like quiet. Greenhouse is soundproof. Though I am known to listen to music. Really? Classical music? Jazz? Just watch, it's gonna be death metal. Close, but no. You can tell me. I could, but it is more entertaining for you to keep guessing. Pfft, okay. Look over the rim of my cup. Did you grow all these yourself? Yes, I did. Even tea you are drinking comes from this greenhouse. No wonder he's so particular about it. It is the thing I am most proud of in life. His voice sounds a lot warmer than usual, and for the first time ever, I see him lean back, take a deep breath, and relax. His feathers fluff up a bit as he settles into his seat. I'm surprised you have time for it, well, with everything you do for Raoul and me. Gardening is a hobby I make time for. It offers peace of mind, allows thoughts to wander. Munch down on a stopwaffle, my contribution to today's lunch. He must get tired sometimes. He doesn't chide me for speaking with my mouth full for once. Of course, but I cannot neglect greenhouse. Plants require constant care, otherwise they will not grow. They are much like you in that regard. Just as prone to bruising, I guess. Huh, quite. Continue to hone skills and you will blossom. Never heard that comparison before. Does Raoul ever help out here? He shakes his head. He has offered many times, however, only I am allowed near plants. They require delicate touch. He lowers his voice. And Master Brevard is not exactly delicate. Oh! Tell us everything. Define not exactly delicate. Not even he knows combination to greenhouse lock. Not even Raoul can get in? Not without me. It is necessary precaution if I am to keep plants safe. You got a point there. I'd give him 5 minutes until he starts trying to kick in a window. There's so much glass here, I'm sure he wouldn't be able to resist. You both stifle a chuckle. I hold out my pack of stroopwafels to Milo. Want one? No, thank you. Really? I haven't seen you eat since I got here. I shake the bag. They're fresh from the market, man. Come on, surely you can handle some carbs. Delicacies are wasted on me. What do you mean? He's silent for a moment, rubbing his beak. I cannot taste. That is not what I was expecting to hear. I tilt my head as his gaze meets mine. I have not been able to for most of life. Why? Milo turns away, eyes cast down at the floor. I lower the pack of stroopwafels. So when you got that cocktail from Willem back at the Hen, you were... lying, yes. But I stop. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. No need to apologize, Duskhound. It is a normal question to ask. You probably wish to know what happened. Yes. I mean, only if you're comfortable. Exactly, only if you're comfortable. You do want to know, but only if you're comfortable. You're comfortable, right? He traces the scar on his eye with his finger, then nods gently. Oh, that is not ominous at all. Yeah, that is not ominous at all. He takes a contemplative sip of his tea and clears his throat. When I was younger, I was operative, working for international organization. Operative? Like a spy? You could say that. I nurtured body, mind, and soul to one day help nurture Europa. That was thought behind my decision. Felt like correct thing to do back then. Every day I would train. Every night I would dream about my purpose. He pauses. I have since lost many friends and comrades. I do not know where my family is or if any of them live yet. So your scars... 27 years ago, we were on mission overseas. To this day, I do not know how, but Target discovered our location and struck. Explosion at base of operations heavily damaged body, destroyed nerves, broke bones. Many of my comrades passed away that night. Doctor said I was lucky to be living. For a moment, Milo just stares. His eyes widen slightly and his beak parts before his chest swells with a deep breath. I disagreed at that moment. Only one eye is working. I cannot taste. Hearing has been impacted. You seem to have recovered pretty well. You're still kicking my butt in training. Gives me a hesitant smile that makes me a little uneasy. I have learned to live or overcome most physical limitations. But there are things. He stops. I can hear his teacup rattle against the saucer for a brief moment before he takes another slow, deliberate breath. I start reaching out to him, but I pull my hand back again. I take a contemplative sip of tea. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're still here. He nods his head slowly, but I don't get the impression he heard what I said. He looks like he's miles away. I wish I knew what else to say. His eye flicks between myself and the teacup still before settling on me. In my hospital room, there was little plant. Nurses had no time to water it while having to care for the wounded. It was wilting. At the risk of sounding strange, I felt sorry for it. I was in agony, wishing for death to take me, yet here was plant, clinging to life in spite of harsh climate and neglect. Once fractures had mostly healed, I took watering can and started watering plant every week. I removed dust and pests daily. I stayed in World of Living because I wanted it to live. I wanted to watch it grow. See what it would become. If I was not there, no one would take care of plant. I slowly nurtured plant back to health during the entirety of hospital stay. What happened to it in the end? He points to a little potted plant sitting on the table between us. All this time? And take a good long look at the plant and find my thoughts wandering. Its broad pointy leaves stick up proudly like swords reaching for the sky. The pattern of dark green mixed with lime almost makes it look like they're snakeskin. The plant's vibrant sheen is what really catches my eye. I know next to nothing about plants, but I can tell this one has been nourished to perfection, despite signs of aging. Starting to understand why Milo does things the way he does just a little bit. I still water it once a week. It has grown strong over many years. You will too eventually. So when I say you are improving, I mean it. Thank you. He chuckles, light returns to his eyes. Once you improve sloppy form. That's why you're here. I suppose it is. And it means a lot to me. Can't imagine anyone I'd rather get thrown or hit by. His hand still lingering on the scar under his blind eye trembles slightly. He exhales slowly once more before his working eye settles on me again. Now it is my turn to ask you a question, yes? Ask away. How are you doing? I'm fine, really. I can tell you are not. I don't even know why I lie to him anymore. Just been thinking, you know? About that night we took down Camo. I mean, I freaking died, I think. I don't know. You got me wondering if it even really happened. Cut myself off when I feel something warm press against the back of my hand on the table. Milo's own hand. I stopped shaking. I didn't even realize I was shaking. As I said, injuries and trauma can affect state of mind. But that is no reason to carry suffering alone. No matter what happened, Duskhound, we are here to support you. Myself and Dawnhound as well. It's nice to hear that coming from him. Thanks, Milo. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. No, really, I do. And thank you for telling me about... I gesture broadly in front of me, struggling to find the words. Everything. Must have been weighing pretty heavily on you. It is good to have listening ear. We share a smile in peaceful silence before he removes his hand and finally sips his tea. So what was this event you were talking about? There is floral art competition in City Hall. Floral art? Like flower arrangements? Indeed. I will be participating. That's awesome, Milo. Can I come? I'd love to cheer you on. That is surprising, Alex, I did not take you for flower enthusiast. I'll admit, I don't know the first thing about flowers, but it sounds interesting. And I've never seen a competition like that before. He thinks for a moment. I would very much enjoy your presence. Mr. Brevard will also be joining. It can be a little workouting. Nice break from getting tossed around the training room. You say that, but competition of this caliber is far more threatening than Camo or Saltwater Syndicate. I will need to stay on toes if I wish to survive. We're still talking about flowers, yes? Right? His feathers bristle as if waiting for an enemy to strike. It is more than flowers. There is one rival, in particular, who will stop at nothing to ruin me. Aline. Aline! He spits that name like a curse. His claw trembles with fury as he brings his teacup to his beak. She has been at every competition I have ever taken part in, and she has always remained victorious. She must be pretty good if she can beat you. I have suspected foul play many times. We clashed on Floral battlefield. But you haven't been able to prove it? He shakes his head. She is conniving. Frightening. If you underestimate her, if you are careless around her, she will take you down. Just watch. She's going to be a cute little grandma. Don't fuck with them. If it's like a cute little grandma, all I'll say is, don't fuck with her. She will fuck you up. You underestimate her. If you're careless around her, she will take you down. Granny will shove those cookies in your ass without mercy. Damn. I'm almost looking forward to meeting this lady just to see what her deal is. She will undoubtedly try to trick me during competition. I must be on my guard. Yeah, and I'm gonna, like, move my microphone closer to me. There we go. Hey, we'll be there for you. I'm sure the three of us can keep an eye out. Are gonna be making the arrangements there? No. I have already prepared mine. Cool. Can I see? It is surprise, Duskhound. I have some final preparations to make before I'm willing to display it. He narrows his eyes and finishes his cup. And I wish to be careful until judging. Aline's spies can be anywhere. Surely you can trust me at least. Right! Why are you so interested in my flowers? I do not figure you for gardening enthusiast. Is there anything I've learned lately? It's that you're always full of surprises. That is a good question. What kind of grandma is she? Yeah, if she's Butter's grandma, then just fucking arrest her. The one that's only nice to her grandkids. Okay, that narrows down like 15. And her ass is a Karen to other bitches. She's Hiroyuki's grandma. Okay. Treat everything you do with so much care, including training me. I suppress a scoff, realizing that the word care is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that particular context. I've really met someone with so much passion and drive for what they do. I dare say yours eclipses Raoul's, if that's even possible. Sometimes I wish I felt something like that. Milo looks at me with a half-serious smile and I almost feel like a kid again. You are funny. Very well, I shall show you, but you must promise to keep it secret. Cross my heart. Good, because otherwise I'd have to kill you. Force an awkward smile as I wait for his expression to change to one as well. Except it doesn't. He is joking, isn't he? He's not joking. He's not joking. Milo? Yes? You were joking about the killing part, I hope. Who can say? He wasn't. He wasn't joking. He will kill him. With that, he finally lets out a sound that makes me think he's at least partly joking. Hang on. He motions for me to follow him into a corner in the back of the greenhouse. Looking at a small fortified dome of sorts. I'd say it was glass, but it's not translucent. Milo does some kind of intricate locking mechanism and deftly lifts the dome cover, revealing the arrangement underneath. It looks like smoke billows out from under the dome, and for a moment it feels like I'm sitting at some fancy restaurant. You are first person to ever see this Duskhound. I honestly couldn't tell you what most of these plants even are. They look alien to me. Arranged in a playful but meticulous way. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't recognize most of these flowers. Many are rare, not native to this land. And what are those, ferns? Indeed, most plants you see here are older than time itself. My eyes fall upon something that's not actually a plant. It's a shiny piece of solid resin inside of a small log. It's been carefully carved into a heart shape. Is that amber? Good eye. Yes, this is a piece of amber I acquired long ago. Looks very old. It dates from late Pliocene epoch. You mean the Ice Age? Older still. I don't know much about prehistory. My expertise in all things dinosaur didn't last beyond my 8th birthday. I am not paleontologist either. However, Miss Fenna estimated this to be at least 3 million years old. I thought Fenna just did art stuff. She has degrees in a number of fields. It was not ceremonious acquisition, but it intrigued me. I figured you'd be here. Raoul's voice sounds muffled from the other side of the greenhouse door. May I enter, Milo? Milo hits a different button. I hear a beep and click. Boss himself enters, nose twitching. He stops to smell a flower on the way while he's distracted. Milo re-engages the arrangement's locking mechanism. All ready for a big day, Milo? Almost. That's great news! Don't worry, I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. How's work, Raoul? Splendid, we're currently developing a new gardening tool. He clears his throat. I shouldn't say anything else. Brevard really does make everything, huh? Only because Master Brevard cannot sit still. He sees problem, he has to fix it. Like Carpenter seeing everything as nailed to be hammered down. I have the means and the know-how. Nothing else to it. If I have the opportunity to improve someone's life, I'll take it. I wish my boss back at Brevard had that worldview. I'm not sure I ever apologized for all the things that happened to you while you were working for the company. But changes will be coming to the way we treat our employees, I can assure you that much. I appreciate you looking into it. It needed to be done. How are you, Duskhound? Did your training go well? Oh, training was great, right, Milo? Oh yes, I believe fundamentals have improved enough for more advanced team exercises. Team exercises? Like, you want us to beat you up at the same time? Huh. You can try. For today, however, Duskhound, you are dismissed. We're going home! No, we're not. We are not at home. Shippersburg City Hall is probably one of the oldest buildings in town. I'll let you be able to tell with how often it gets renovated. I wonder if any of the original structure is still there. Nevertheless, its age and rich history make it a prime spot for tourists to visit, though most of them only check out the admittedly very fancy lobby and call it a day. Interesting place to hold a competition like this, gotta admit. Didn't expect there to be this many people. Truthfully, it is more crowded than I anticipated. Might have to do with Mayor deciding to judge competition himself this year. I did notice a lot of flyers with the familiar ranger's face on it plastered around City Hall on the way here. He's been involved in a lot of events lately, hasn't he? Feels like I see him everywhere I go. Even Willem said he came over for a bit during the anniversary party while we were going after Camo. Wonder if it's for some election thing. Raymond! Are you gonna be alright? I think so. Thankfully it's not too noisy in here. Just making sure. Don't worry, I brought some noise-canceling headphones if it gets a bit overwhelming. Besides, we're here on an important mission. And it's finally what I don't have to suit up for. At least I hope so. These past few weeks have taught me anything is that when Raoul gets involved, anything can turn into an adventure. While I'm focused on Raoul, Milo inspects the crowd with narrowed eyes. I do not see her yet. Oh, the lady you were talking about yesterday. Is she really that big a deal? He mutters something in his mother tongue. What was that? Hellspawn. I take it I was right on the money. I hardly ever see you get this worked up over anything, Milo. You don't know who she is either? I've only heard the stories, quite frightening stories at that. She sounds like a force of nature. That is putting it mildly. I, for one, think having a rival to push you does wonders for your growth. She is not rival. She is nemesis. Judging by the tension in his shoulders, he's about to reveal some stuff that would make Max look normal. She... Hello, sir. You're a participant in today's competition, aren't you? I saw you registering at the desk over there. Oh no, I know that voice. I know that intonation as if there's an active audience listening. I know who's asking before we even turn around and immediately feel compelled to duck behind my bosses. The crowd stares at me quizzically before turning his attention to the lamprey, who shoves a little tape recorder under his beak. I am not participating. I am winning. But yes. Good golly, we have a participant with a real competitive streak here today, folks. Pulls out a little notepad. It's got enough scribbles and drawings to make Raoul jealous. I'm with Shippersburg Sailor. Is it okay if I ask a few questions about... Looks up from his notepad, we lock eyes. His slack-jawed stare lingers for a few moments, then turns to the closest approximation of a grin a lamprey can muster. Oh, that is terrifying. That is terrifying. Which mainly involves rows upon rows of teeth, each sharper than the last. It's a little scary when you aren't expecting it, I'll be honest. Alex! Is that you? Oh, you're acquainted? Milo and Raoul step aside, leaving me in an awkwardly hunched over position. I give him a pleading look, but he just folds his arms and smiles. You could say that. Don't be shy. We used to date in college. I feel my face getting red hot. Figures we'd run into a meal here of all places. Guess it helps our breakup was amicable back in the day, but yeah, it's still awkward. How's life been? We haven't spoken in 6 years and about 145 days, but who's keeping track? I tilt my head and he laughs. I'm kidding. I've been doing great. Got my degree, got a job, and, you know. Mime's climbing a ladder. Journalism, right? And look where it got me. City Hall, baby. He thrusts a press lanyard at me. The front-facing picture looks a little out of focus, like you couldn't sit still when it was taken. Sure, today I might be reporting on, what was it, a knitting competition? A floral art competition. No, I'm pretty sure it's knitting. It's in my notes. He rapidly flips through his notebook, tilts his head, then shrugs. Can we just pretend it's about knitting? It's what I prepared for. I don't think that's going to work, Emil. Fine, I'll adjust. Makes it sound like a deflating balloon. Where was I? Oh, right. Today I might be reporting on a floral art competition, but I'll be a crime reporter before you know it. Book deals, here I come. You rehearsed that speech, didn't you? You know it. Emil hasn't changed one bit. Even back in college, he was always as peppy and excited about everything. Always off chasing his dreams, didn't matter if they were realistic or not, he was always giving 100%. That same excitement led to the occasional accident in the bedroom. Teeth like that are a safety hazard, even with the best of intentions. Wasn't that the reason we broke up? I can't really remember. What about you, Alex? Did you ever go back, to get your degree? Nope, I work for these guys now. Gesture to Raoul and Milo. What do you do? Well, it's a little complicated. Ooh, I know, it's written plainly on your face. You are an apprentice knitter here to learn from the master. Hear the loudest snort I've ever heard Milo make. Gardener, and no! Alex most certainly lacks any talent for gardening. Hey! Emil looks at me with his notebook in hand, almost as if he's moving on to interview me instead. Well, it's not exactly cleaning, but it's sort of close. If cleaning up the city of criminals is even a remotely decent metaphor. After all this time, we never actually went over a proper cover story for my new career. Shoot a quick look at Milo, but for once it's Raoul who steps up behind us and answers. Alex is my personal assistant. Not exactly a lie, at least. The name's Raymond. I'm a tinkerer of sorts. I like building things that make daily life more convenient. A bona fide inventor, you say? Essentially, yes, though it's less glamorous than that and more about, so you can invent a giant death ray, for example. How would that make anyone's life more convenient? Oh, Alex. Alex. Alex, you sweet summer child. You sweet summer child. Well, no, that's not really... Or something really practical, like a robot that can make soup. What I wouldn't give for someone to invent a robot that can make soup for me. Actually, that one's on my list of projects to complete. Just as soon as I work out a few small kinks. Carpet stains. 3 weeks. It was a minor setback, Milo. Version 2.0 will work, I guarantee it. With Alex by my side, it's sure to be a success. I know what they're talking about, and even I'm starting to lose track of this interaction. I must feel sorry for Emil. He must be so confused right now. I think I have the full picture now. You do? Because I'm entirely lost as to what this conversation is even about anymore. There's no need to be ashamed, Alex. Professional carpet cleaning is a very respectable profession. Oh my god. Why does everyone feel the need to lecture me on respectable professions? It seems a little out of your wheelhouse. How so? Well, considering how messy your room always was. I was not and still not a professional cleaner, okay? I'm just Raymond's assistant. I did always figure to be more the tinkering type anyway. And he's more than capable enough. I wouldn't be here today without him. Clearly he's in good hands. I do wonder, though, what is an inventor like yourself doing out of floral art? Lamprey shoots an insecure look at Milo, who's clearly suppressing a sigh. Floral art. A floral art competition. As it happens, we are merely here to support our good friend Milo for the competition. And perhaps get some ideas for a new gardening tool or two. How about a robot vacuum cleaner you just put in your room and it does all the work for you? Doesn't Brevard Enterprises make several different models already? I know, but bigger! See, the small ones always take forever and they can't get into the little nooks and crannies. Imagine if it worked like a tornado but in reverse. That does sound like it might have potential. I can almost feel the heat of Milo's glare. Do not even think about it! Oh, don't be like that, Milo. All we need is to take a few precautions and nothing can go wrong. I am not cleaning up resulting debris and shrapnel. A friend of mine was working on one, actually. She invited me to report on the test run and everything. Was? You mean it's completed? Did it work? Not exactly. Did something happen to the invention? Oh no, the invention has been decommissioned for now. Then your friend, is she okay? Suddenly Raoul doesn't seem as eager about the idea of a tornado vacuum anymore. Well, she's still incapacitated. I'll have to ask how it's coming along when she can use her arms again. What? Raoul and I exchange a worried look. Oh, it didn't explode or anything. There was just one minor technical issue. In addition to the dust the vacuum would suck up, other stuff in the room too. I mean, one would think that much was obvious, and the motor was a little more powerful than expected. A little? It needed to be an industrial motor to cause any real havoc. Someone speaking from experience. It wasn't a problem at first until the knives started flying. Perhaps the kitchen wasn't the best place to test it after all. Suddenly, I'm wondering if there are any inventors among Max's many siblings. I shudder at the mere possibility. Maybe you can help my friend finish her invention. I'm sure she could use the assistance. What with? Makes a wobbly gesture with his arms. Thanks, but I appreciate the relative safety of my current gig. Emphasis on relative. Well, look who it is. Oi! Ow! And Ray, too. Oh, thank heaven's a savior. Well, what a nice surprise. What are you doing at City Hall, Willem? Right back at you. Didn't have you pegged as big fans of flower arrangements. Oh, I'm here for Milo. He's participating, so I thought I'd come along. What about you? Doing the catering? What, you really think they bring me on for a fancy pants thing like this? I'm just watching my grandniece for the day. She really wanted to come here for the event. Should be easy for someone like you. You'd think so, but she's a bloody handful, that one. I can wrangle a bar full of drunk folks about all right, but she can run circles around me. Oh, that's nice. Where's she right now? Points his thumb over at a little girl behind us with bright yellow feathers carrying a basket about as big as she is, similar to the one Milo was carrying. She's talking to Emil, but he has to kneel down to even let her talk into the tape recorder. Can only catch bits and pieces of their conversation, every sentence punctuated by one of Emil's wild gestures. Wait, she's participating? Can you believe it? I can't, really. She's so tiny. Don't competitions like this have an age requirement? I'm also worried about this nemesis of Milo's. People like that around, it doesn't seem like a very child-friendly competition. Usually your parents take her here, but they're on the other side of the country right now. Apparently she's been doing this for about 3 years now. How old is she now? 9. 9?! The little girl's head snaps in our direction mid-sentence. And a half. 9 and a half, apologies. Come on over here, won't you? Got someone I'd love you to meet. She waves Emil off, then skips on over. This here's a friend of mine, one of my regulars, actually. His name is Alex. Alex, Ray, this is Aline. Milo's arch nemesis is a little girl. That is the greatest thing I have heard all day. He has beef with a child. His beef is with a 4th grader. Fuck. Fuck. He's beefing with a child. Alex, Ray, this is Aline. Okay, what should Aline's actual voice be? Because I'd rather not do a fucking death metal voice the entire goddamn time. Chelsea, but baby. Awful nice to meet you, sir. Aw, nice to meet. Did you say Aline? That's me. I guess Mr. Milo must have told you all about me. I exchanged glances with Raoul, and one thing is clear, it's that we're both very confused. Yeah, he did, I think. I wasn't expecting you to be... Well, what I mean to say is... You weren't expecting me to be a little kid. I look at the ground. Yeah. Well, I'm not just a little kid. I won this contest 3 years in a row, and I've got the trophies to prove it. Mr. Milo's just grouchy because he always gets 2nd place. I only get 2nd place because you choose to lie and deceive, Aline. Can you please stop doing that? Lie and deceive? What's that mean? Milo's eyes narrow on me. I should have known she would dig her claws in as soon as I let both of you out of my sight. You didn't tell me you were beefing with a 9-year-old! She is no ordinary 9-year-old. She looks pretty ordinary to me. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Milo. She bats her eyelashes. You can fool them, Aline, but you will not fool me. I know full well what happened last year. You losing? I remember that too. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, people. The competition hasn't even started yet. Large reindeer in a pair of overalls waltzes over on with a laugh. Mayor Brower, it is a pleasure to see you again. Okay, what's his voice? I don't know how to do a jolly reindeer. Okay, so we got a The feeling's mutual, Mr. Drozdov. That's the best you get. It's lovely to see you return as well, Miss Celine. I'm glad the top 2 from last year could make it. You really took us by surprise last time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm still a bit sad all the other contestants ended up dropping out.
As am I, but truth be told, you really earned that trophy fair and square. I spot Milo making a face. I'd laugh, but he'd make me regret it in training later, so I stifle it the best I can. I see the 2 of you have brought some moral support. I recognize Willem, but I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you 2 lovely people yet. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. He gives us an expectant look that makes way for a quizzical stare as he looks us up and down. Say, don't I know you 2 from somewhere? News item. Maybe it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh no, we're just regular people, aren't we, Raymond? Ah, right we are, Alex. Just a friend of Milo's, here to support him. Of course, of course. Well, I'd like to welcome you to City Hall all the same. Thanks. Don't mention it. He grins at me. His teeth are so sparkly white it's almost scary. I know that look in your eyes, boy. You do? Must come as a surprise to you that an event like this is being personally overseen by the mayor. Yeah, kinda, especially with so much going on in the city. It is my job to represent each and every citizen of Shippersburg. An event like this might seem like a relatively small affair, but it plays a vital role in bringing people together. Connection, my boy. I believe that is the best way forward for our fair city. And you simply can't achieve that cooped up in an office. That's what I always say too. Truly? Well, it's a great aim. In practice, it gets a little difficult. I have to be a man of many hats, as it were.
Oh, Mayor!
What is it, my girl?
I had a question. Uncle Willem says you have really pretty paintings here. Could you show me?
I'd be happy to. He tips his head to us. If you'll excuse me, I'm looking forward to seeing your entry, Milo. Milo narrows his eyes. You will be amazed. I bet I will. See you at the competition. Oh my god, what toothpaste does he use? They walk off, Willem following behind. Emil, who's been running around unsuccessfully trying to get an interview with participants, dashes back over to us.
Aw, the mayor's gone. I still had a couple questions I wanted to ask.
I'm sure he'll be around later. He groans. At this rate, this piece will be page 7 material. Is that a bad thing? Page 7 is where journalism goes to die. I'm looking for a front page shoe-in. Maybe you should write about the Glory Hounds. I hear they're pretty popular. Raoul puffs up his chest as he says it. Aww. Look at him. He's so happy. I gotta stand up for a bit. He's so bad wants the Glory Hounds to be popular. He's so bad wants it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Raoul puffs up his chest as he says it. Who? The Glory I could hear you perfectly fine. I'm just not interested. Oh! My baby! He is no longer full of joy and whimsy. He is now full of sadness and sadness. It's a lot of sadness. He's sad now. Lug, prepare the lug taser. Please. I could hear you perfectly fine. I'm just not interested. They stopped the saltwater syndicate, saved the money talks gown. Yeah, last month. Any current news is all I'm saying. Something exciting, something... He's cut off by the fire alarm, and his following words are drowned out by shouts and screams from the crowd around us.
At long last, I've succeeded in getting those vexatious vermin out of my feathers. Phase 1 of today's plan has been a resounding success. The fire alarm ought to keep them occupied for a considerable length of time. Enough to enact my plan, anyway. Splendid! Now to seize the moment and claim my victory over that rube once more. No one would ever suspect little Aline of causing irreparable damage to Drozdov's unfortunate little weeds. Only to discover she used untraceable industrial-grade herbicide to do the job with. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on that old crow's face when he comes in dead last. Wait, let me try that again. Now to find Milo's entry. Ah, there it is. I find myself rather uninspired looking at this place. Perhaps foul play won't be necessary and I can win by my own merit. As if! Goodbye, Mr. Draws. What in heavens is going on? It's growing.
You have awoken us! Oh, fuck. Raoul, Milo, and I run to the source of the alarm as fast as we can, Emil in tow. Tried to tell him to go somewhere else safe, but there was no way he was going to miss out on this big scoop. Along the way, I yank one of the fire extinguishers off the wall. There's one upside to all this, is that I can tell I have more stamina than I did a month ago. Here's to no longer getting winded after running for 10 seconds. It's here, right? Correct, we have arrived at source of alarm. Strange, I don't see any fire.
Maybe it's somewhere we can't see.
There would be signs. He's right, I don't smell any smoke either. Do you think someone pulled the alarm by accident? Not by accident. Tips his beak to a red handle on the wall. There's shards of broken glass on the floor. Probably from the sheet that had been protecting it. Judging by amount of shards, this was done with considerable force. Most likely prank. Or, his eyes widen. Aline! She must have tried to get people away from the judging room. You really think a 9-year-old could have done all this? I would not put it past her. And you would be wise not to underestimate her.
So there isn't a fire after all.
He slouches, his tone sounds almost disappointed. It doesn't seem like... He's interrupted by a loud crash coming from behind us. I prick up my ears, picking up a creaking noise that seems to draw closer and closer. Watch out! Green appendages wind around the corner of the hallway. Flowers and what looks like sharp thorns bursting from every area they touch. One of the vines is heading right for Emil. Before anyone else can act or even move a muscle, Milo shoves him out of the way. The lamprey falls to the ground just as a thorny vine spears itself into the wall at the end of the hall.
Anyone mind telling me what the heck just happened? I almost said fuck.
I don't know. Milo, plants aren't supposed to be doing this, are they? Milo doesn't respond, not immediately. His beak is clenched shut, his gaze distant. Watch the crow pull a flower from one of them, inspecting it closely. Most certainly not. Something's afoot. Or should I say, a root. Damn it, wrong one. I bury my face in my paws. Not in the mood for puns, I suppose. Another crash rings out through the hallway, and more vines slither out from behind the corner, hurtling at us at breakneck speeds. And neither are they! In here. Milo yanks me into what appears to be a dark broom closet. Raoul and Emil diving in right behind us before he shuts the door and we hear the sound of vines breaking the wall once more. I'll keep the jokes to myself next time. I thought this was a floral art thing, not a killer plant thing.
Trouble really does seem to follow you wherever you go, huh, Alex? Really is just like college.
Yeah, well, the trouble I got up to in college didn't involve almost getting impaled by thorns and vines. The door rattles as what I can only assume are more vines bash it. Without any hesitation, Milo takes one of the mops sitting against the wall and barricades it. We're not getting out of here anytime soon, are we? If we want to, we need to come up with a plan. Considering damage it did to wall, I estimate single swipe of vine would be enough to break bones. Moreover, I am concerned. Even in the darkness, I can tell he's holding the flower he picked from the vine. This is from my piece. I saw your piece this morning, and it was definitely not sprouting tentacles or trying to maim us. Correct. That means somebody tampered with it. This is one thing I cannot see Aline achieve. So, the source is wherever the pieces were being stored for judging. If we're holed up in here, I can only imagine that this dangers everyone else in the building. You must be facing right about now. Luckily, I came prepared. You brought our gear? Loads up a suitcase. Always have it on me in case of an emergency. I should have known. Don't worry, Milo. We'll get to the root of the issue. Get it? Root?
Is he always like this?
Well, let's just get the damn costumes on. Costumes? It's a long story. Ah, that's better. I could do without the getting changed in a dark room that has my ex in it and is currently being assaulted by plants with it. Variety's a spice of life spot. Yeah, well, this is too spicy for me. The room we have to reach is on the other side of the building. We'll have to be quick and rescue civilians en route. Wait a minute, we? You joining us, Milo? I am partly responsible for a situation and you came here to support me. I will bear responsibility. Hear the clang of metal, and as Milo kicks the door open, I catch a glimpse of him holding up a pair of gardening shears that I noticed sitting against the wall earlier. It is time to prune garden!
And what about me?
Step out into the light with Milo. You should probably stay here where it's safe.
And miss out on the scoop of a lifetime
Stops mid-sentence, tilting his head.
What do you even... Hold up, they're the Glory Hounds? That's what the whole costume thing was about?
I'll tell you when we get back, okay?
And miss out on the scoop of the century? No way, Jose!
Emil, listen to me. This is going to get very dangerous. You could get hurt or worse. Please listen to your friend, Emil. It is for your own safety.
But...
Okay, I'll cut you a deal.
A deal?
Get your ass to safety, and in return you'll get an exclusive interview with the illustrious Glory Hounds about what happened here today. How's that? The lamprey perks up suddenly.
Exclusive, you say?
I nudge Raoul with my elbow. Yes, exclusive. You have our word, literally and figuratively. Neil considers that for a moment, unaware he's costing us precious seconds.
Okay, fine, we have ourselves a deal then.
Then get yourself to safety, civilian, now!
Yes, sir!
They're bad at this. He runs off while letting out a loud yeehaw. Are we done wasting time? Raoul and I nod. Then let's go. Does anyone know if there's enough content to validate another stream? I'm curious. Probably 30 minutes, then we'll finish it tonight. Whatever causes, it's completely taken over City Hall. The formerly pristine hallways now resemble what I can only describe as a rugged jungle. Several doors are barred by vines and growths, windows smashed with thick tree trunks jutting out of them. Oh no, this music is a vibe. I have to be careful where I walk just to avoid tripping over bushes and stepping on thorns. The grass here has come up to my waist. At least there's no signs of the vines that attacked us yet. Milo walks up front, snipping anything that blocks our path with shears. Almost feels like we're on some expedition. This place got quite the makeover. If the situation weren't so dire, I'd almost call it beautiful. Swat a branch out of the way. Hold up, he's wearing fingerless gloves. I didn't realize that. I'm also staring at the boob window. I mean, come on, where else are my eyes supposed to go? They're right there. Exactly. But I'm focused on the boob window. I mean, it's right there. And it's so stylish. It swings back and thwaps me in the nose. Ow! You, definitely don't see this every day, that's for sure. At least we haven't run into any more plants trying to kill us. That's a plus. I've seen no sign of anyone else so far. Here's hoping they'll evacuate when the fire alarm is pulled. Fingers crossed. Milo gestures for us to stop. What's wrong? Listen. Those are footsteps? Might be other survivors. Please don't start using the word survivors. Hello? Anyone there? We're coming to rescue you. Milo hushes Raoul. What are you doing? They need to know they're safe, Milo. We cannot rule a possibility of enemy presence. The footsteps stop. I think they heard us. Hear the creaks and groans of wood before it looks like a person emerges from the shrubbery. Only it isn't a person. That is a ball of dirt. Or like a monster with skin made of bark and leaves sticking out of an earthen torso. It's not like anything I've seen before, and it seems to regard us the same way once it notices us, coming in our direction. Raoul steps forward, next to Milo, who's already got his gardening shears at the ready, and raises his hand. We mean you no harm. It tilts its head. More of you! As it moves towards us, a vine begins to sprout from its arms. They move like thorny tendrils, lashing at their surroundings. One smashes a potted cactus, which immediately seems to emerge with it like a pointy flail. Cease hostilities at once. You wish to stand in our way. Hey, stop, don't! Out of nowhere, the tendril extends hard and fast. It nearly spears Raoul, but Milo pushes him out of the way at the last moment, lunging for the creature with the gardening shears. He snips the tendril off at the base and kicks the monster-looking thing down. Watch the vine writhe on the floor before it lies still. Give it to me. I throw the vine over to him, careful not to prick myself as he gets to work tying the creature up. Seems to be unconscious for now. Unconscious? What the heck is it? Some sort of unknown plant-based life form. It would seem. And it's hostile. He shakes his head. This situation just got a lot more complicated. And scarier. The hell could have happened to Milo's piece to create friggin' plant zombies? Raoul? We will settle hows and whys after the situation is dealt with. Do you think there's more out there? There are bound to be. We must hurry. Lives are in danger.
Get to safety, Emil. It's too dangerous. I mean, they've got a point, but still. I mean, it's just plants. Plants aren't that scary, are they? Unless it's carnivorous ones, like the ones from that one movie. I should just go out there. No famous journalist ever got anywhere just waiting around in the dark. I can see the headlines now. Pristine place pounded by pointy plants. City Hall in ruins. Yes. They'll have to promote me to the crime department after this.
Oh, you fucking dumbass. The hallways were bad, but this is on a whole other level. The entrance hall looks like it came straight out of some nature documentary. Any furniture not nailed to the floor has been flipped upside down, and the few things that have gotten impaled by growths. And that's without mentioning the ivy climbing up the old marble pillars, practically growing before our eyes. What a mess. Guess the building's due for another set of renovations. Doesn't look like there's any people here, at least. We're lucky the fire alarm was pulled when it was. This could have gotten a lot nastier if folks hadn't have been evacuated. We're not out of woods yet. I mean, I can see that. You know, with all the trees. I meant it as figure of speech. I groan. I know. At least we haven't run into more of those plant monsters.
Help!
I spoke too soon, didn't I? That is Mayor's voice. He brandishes the gardening shears, so then they, along with his glasses, glimmer in the sunlight filtering in through the window. He already looked pretty intimidating before, but today's events brought out an entirely new side of him. No time to lose! Raoul sprints in the direction the cry came from. Dawnhound, wait! Before Milo finishes, a vine I hadn't seen latches onto Raoul's ankle from below and yanks, flooring him immediately. I hear a groan from Milo as it pulls Raoul's heavy frame into the air, the Rottweiler swaying and bouncing. Watch your step, Duskhound. Noted. A little help here. Crow casually saunters over and snips the vine. The boss crashes to the ground with a grunt. I stifle a chuckle. Situations like this make me realize my back isn't what it used to be. Then perhaps it is wise to avoid situations like this in future by minding steps, yes? You got me there. Let's try this one again, shall we? He runs off again, a little more hesitant in his step this time. Milo follows, shears in hand. His one working eye flicks left and right, inspecting every shrub and every twig methodically. Follow my steps exactly, Duskhound. Right. I have said it before, but man, you really keep a cool head in these situations. It is what I was trained for. Acting on impulse only leads to disaster. He gives Raoul, who's currently mowing his thick arms through some very tall grass, a pointed look. Yeah, give it a rest already. Blast it. Ow! He winces, clutching his arm. What happened? Nettle sting. What is it? Nothing. Sudden craving for nettle tea. Oh, finally, someone's come to my aid! That's the mayor's voice again. But where? I look up. Sure enough, there he is, suspended upside down from the ceiling. A sight I'd never thought I'd see when I voted at the last election. Mayor, are you hurt? Not physically, though I find myself in a rather unfortunate predicament all the same, as you can see. Thick vine he's hanging from swings back and forth like a pendulum as he shouts. You have any idea how this happened? I was just on my way back to the judging room when I heard the fire alarm. I wanted to make sure everyone was alright, but then a loud bang rang out. Raoul looks at me. That must have been the sound we heard. It gave me quite the start. As for what happened after, well, I seem to have lost consciousness. Very next thing I remember is waking up in this position, which, might I remind you, is still fairly uncomfortable. Have you seen Aline? I have reason to believe she is still in building. Last I saw her, she asked me for directions to our gallery, roughly a minute or two before the fire alarm went off. His face falls in the arc of his swing and grows as he raises his voice. Heavens, you don't think she's hurt, do you? Milo narrows his eyes just a little. We will initiate rescue mission. I'd be most grateful. Could you, also get me down from here while you're at it? Oh, yeah, just give me a moment. Sound of a camera shutter rings out through the hall. I cover my eyes, but they still sting. When I open them again, the mayor's swinging back and forth even faster, the vines wrapping tighter and tighter around his body.
This is brilliant! A front page article for sure.
Turn around and nearly blinded by another camera flash. If not for the mesh in my mask, I'd be seeing stars by now. Sure enough, a certain lamprey's lanky silhouette slowly shifts into focus. I can hear Milo grumble behind me. I have a feeling today is going to be difficult.
Emil, where did you come from? I thought I told you to get to safety. And miss a career opportunity of a lifetime? Fat chance.
He aims the camera at the mayor. Milo reaches out to block his shot, but it's too late. Another click of the shutter, another flash. Then a scream rings out as a vine wrapped around the mayor seems to recoil, letting him fall to the floor from a considerable height. Raoul reaches for something on his belt that's roughly the shape and size of a jelly bean. Before the mayor can hit the floor, he tosses it and proceeds to rapidly swell in size, just in time for the mayor to crash into it like a beanbag. No doubt sore, but safe. What was that? A new thingamajig I developed. Cushion falls after you told me about what happened with Chemo. Still in its testing phase, but it seems to have done the job. Are you alright, Mayor? The mayor reaches for his antlers, as if to feel whether they're still there. Physically, yes. Mentally, I think I'm due for a sabbatical. Milo turns to Emil, whose jovial demeanor dissipates rapidly when he meets the crow's cold stare. What were you thinking?
I just...
Thrusts his hands in his pockets, looking down. At least we know they don't like bright flashes of light. We can keep that in our back pocket for future encounters. Plants around us stir, almost all of us collectively gasp in response. Branches crack and shift, vines slither. There might not be any future encounters if we're not careful. The plants coil around each other, changing shape. Bark, vines, and flowers start to sprout from clumps of dirt until they form fully bipedal creatures. Raoul and I look at each other, shocked, but Milo hasn't so much as raised an eyebrow. Dawnhound does count. Assume combat positions. Lock eyes with one of the plant creatures shambling towards us, dragging spiky vines behind it. What's the plan? Back to back. Don't let him catch you from behind. That is agreeable tactic. This isn't going to turn into another Dawn Tornado situation, is it? Good thinking, Spot. It's nice to have a little lace up our sleeves. I was afraid you'd say that. Also, you don't even have sleeves. As for you two, stay behind us. You don't gotta tell me twice. Emil looks more conflicted, clutching his camera. Emil? Listen to him. This could get nasty. He hesitates then nods, hiding behind us just in time for the first of the monsters to come barreling towards us, way faster than the one we saw before. Raoul kicks the beanbag the mayor landed on towards it, knocking it down right before it can take a swipe at us. The beanbag shrinks down to its previous size almost instantly. Seems like the shrinking function works too. I didn't think this would have combat applications, but... Milo grabs him and pulls him out of the way from another monster rushing towards us, sticking his foot out to make it fall instead. Eyes on target, Dawnhound. Terribly sorry. Whoa! Another creature approaches with an extended hand. tendrils sprouting and rushing towards me in the blink of an eye. I aim and shoot my grappling gun, knocking the thorn appendage off course and straight through a window. Oh no, we just had those repaired last year. Creature closes at the distance, and I find it face inches away from mine. What are you? Where are we? Creatures speak all at once, their pitches shifted slightly different, like some strange choir. Sounding a little more coherent than the one on our previous, on our way over, did at least. Shippersburg, City Hall. One in front of me tilts his head in confusion. I try to push it away, but it's far too heavy. We do not know this place.
And to be fair, it's a bit hard to navigate with all the vines and...
Pat my hand against Emil's mouth. Not helping! The creature takes a step back, lowering its arms. I feel like it's waiting for me to say or do something. What are you? Gesture to the destroyed lobby around us. And what's all this? We used to be a creature of flesh and bones and blood. When the world was young and the forests green. When we awoke, we were here. Only vine and bark remain. We used to be one. Now we are many. So you were just acting up after waking up in a strange place. Hear the mayor squeak behind us. Acting up? Oh, that's not going to be a good excuse for insurance at all. I have theory, but it remains to be proven.
Is this one of those climate change things? Because I swear I've been recycling.
I've got some theories of my own as well. The fossil in the amber, right? Yes, but I do not see how Aline could have revived it, even by accident. The creature seemed to focus on Milo for a moment. We recognize you! Only flashes. Faint memories. Like dreams. From the one who created us. You took care of us. They speak in unison once more.
It's like a strange symphony, except it's not music.
We offer apologies for attacking you. We are sorry, Master. Master? I see Raoul stifle a chuckle while Milo stares dumbfounded. We recognize the one, clad in black as well. He came to visit us many times. This time it's Raoul that freezes. Milo's head turns so fast, I fear it may snap off. The rest of us inch back as if in self-defense. You just what, Dawnhound? We had rule! Simple rule! Valid crash out. You were to stay out of greenhouse unless given my permission. His eyes are wide, his hands trembling. I just want to see what you're working on and... I ran some tests. I figured you really wanted to win, so... You came up with another invention. I was thinking this was case, but I did not want to believe it. I did not want to believe best friend of over 20 years would violate trust so flagrantly. I just wanted to help. Look around you, Dawnhound! Raoul's eyes dart to the destroyed window, splintered desk, the mayor nervously wringing his hands. This is where your help gets us! Something goes wrong, you wish to play here and have others clean up mess you leave behind. I didn't think... Raoul can even finish his sentence. The plants shake and twitch, leaves and vines rustling violently. We obey. We will neutralize the threat. What's going on? The creatures seem to convulse erratically, as if a spasm is running through their very being. Turn towards us again and raise their vines at us. Their movement's much more ungainly. I don't think they're willing to do any more negotiating. Duskhound, Dawnhound, get ready to fight and defend Mayor and ex-boyfriend. You make way toward gallery. Roger. Stand slightly behind Milo and pull the mayor behind me. Once Emil remains quiet and joins the mayor. Raoul hesitates for a moment and fidgets. Milo, I said get ready! With a snip-snap of his shears, Milo takes up a combat position. I can tell from his body language that he's not going to mess around. Creatures seem to be waiting for any of us to make a move, though their vines are shaking as if they're trying to yank away a straggler. I glance at Raoul, who seems a little out of it. As much as I'd like to talk to him or comfort him, right now we have civilians to protect. Boss? Oh. Right. He regains his composure and sandwiches the mayor and a meal between us. Stay close and keep your back to mine. Alex, I'll cover the rear. You back up Milo and guard the front. Yes, sir. Wish I had a spear or polearm, one of those combat boots Raoul tried to convince me to add to my costume as recently as last week. Failing that, I ready my grappling gun. Advance. Milo does not miss a beat and charges at one of the largest creatures in front of him, the one who did most of the talking. Wondering if he figured out their hierarchy or something. Do not get in our way, master. We will assist in neutralizing the threat. One of its vines swings violently at Milo. Steps to the side and catches a thorny appendage between the blades. The small vines around us swing in unison, directing their attacks at us. The mayor ducks as I slam the vine away with the anchor of my weapon. Behind me, Raoul has seemingly caught the attack from two different creatures with his bare hands. Let's see how well you like this! His muscles visibly strain against the plants as he pulls them in with all his might. They slam into each other with a loud crash, the clumps of earth holding their bodies together starting to crumble. Maybe if we hit those hard enough, they can't reform. Spot! With you! Keep one hand close to the mayor and attack in tandem with Raoul. Our kicks land at the exact same time and we send the two creatures flying. Into the windows of a nearby office room. Out of here! Oh no! Check to make sure the mayor is alright. He seems more horrified at the destruction of the plants at this point. I wince and muttered softly. Sorry about that, sir. Look ahead and see Milo seems to have obliterated his adversary, covered in vines and leaves. He's got a look in his eyes I don't like. Enemy down, quick before reinforcements arrive. No better than to ask questions and motion for the mayor to follow. Vines around us are slithering, but they seem to be partially retreating. It's like they lose their coordination if one of the heads is taken out. So if we find the original leader, the literal root, should be able to defeat an entire colony at once, yes. With the path mostly clear, we make our way to the gallery as swiftly as we can, taking care to cut down any minor vines still waiting in ambush. Thankfully, we reach it without further incident, other than me having to yank Emil along every time he wants to snap a shot. At least until we get to an emergency exit, one of the ones that hasn't been overtaken by the shrubbery. Check to make sure there's nothing past the door that could endanger anyone. Once I'm reasonably sure I gestured to the outside, part of me wishing I could join right now. Alright, this is where we part ways for now, Mr. Mayor, Emil. Are you sure I can't just hang around and get... I'm positive. Besides, I need to keep the mayor safe outside. It's very important. Well, if you put it that way. The mayor and I exchange a knowing glance. Right, a medal will be in order, and I'll speak to your superiors, of course. Why, that would be... Okay, I accept. Worry not, citizens. We will take care of this botanical infestation while you get yourself to safety. And keep anyone else from entering the city hall. Not even the police or the fire department? The more targets there are inside, the harder our job will be. We don't want anyone else getting hurt. Situation is messy enough as is. With a nod, the mayor drags still unwilling Lamprey with him. Once they're past the doors, the rush of adrenaline I felt is gone with them. Now all I feel is tension crawling up my spine and a frog in my throat that won't hop out. I want to get back to business, but Milo speaks up first. Why do you always go for a crazy approach without thinking things through? I made a promise, Milo. This is not what she would want. She would be ashamed of you. Suddenly, Raoul's face is inches away from Milo's, Rottweiler having grabbed him by the collar. How dare you! Milo doesn't flinch. His expression is blank, distant. I don't think he meant what he just said. Stop it, you two! Come on! Raoul's breath catches and he lets go. Get between the two of them. Not that it'll help with both of them being twice as strong as I am, but it's just not going to. But I'm not just not going to stand there. This isn't solving anything. There's still someone out there that needs our help. Buddy, we can play the blame game all we want once we're back at base. Milo dusts himself off, straightening out his uniform. He takes a deep breath. Dust count is correct. After business is included, however, this little game is through. It's the last time I will be assisting you. Suit yourself. I stare at them, exasperated, wondering if this is how Lou feels with their kids sometimes. They don't say a word to one another for the rest of the way to the judging room, to the point where I actually wish we could just get dragged into another fight. Anything to replace the sudden hostility. Where's Ahab to throw me across the room when I need him? Looks like this is a place where the mayor was talking about. Try the doorknob, but it won't budge. Locked. Think she might have barricaded herself inside? She might have. Waiting for a more elaborate explanation, maybe some tactical advice like he always gives us, but it doesn't come. I guess it means she's safe at least. When neither of them takes charge, I wiggle the doorknob a couple more times and look to Raoul. He's staring right through me. Great. Okay. Take a step back, assuming a wide stance just like I always see him do. Bring my foot down on the door as hard as I can, crying out in equal parts pain and frustration. Hear the crack of twigs and vines snapping on the other side. Looks like it was barred. One more kick and it swings open, but it feels like it just got smashed with a hammer and I struggle to stand on my feet. I don't even understand how Raoul does this 10 times a day, and in his current state, he probably wouldn't give me much of an answer. All of the tendrils lead here, to this little room. It's hard to tell the pieces apart. It's like they've all been mashed into a giant clump of earth, thorns, flowers, and vines that takes up most of the room. I don't think this would win first prize. Aline, are you in here? Hope she's safe or Willem will skin me alive. Show yourself. Clearly Milo doesn't share my concern.
Finally, some help! One of you imbeciles get me out of here!
Aline's sitting in a corner, seemingly none the worse for wear. Are you alright? She hushes me.
Quiet! You'll wake it up.
It?
The plants, they locked me in here.
You have lots of explaining to be doing. Aline sighs dramatically.
Why? I don't know anything.
I sniff the air. I think you do. It smells like a chemical lab in here. What happened? She hesitates, and then I catch her smile slip and her brow furrow.
I just had a drop of stuff to Mr. Drozdov's arrangement. I didn't think it'd lead to all this.
A drop? A drop of what? She mutters something under her breath. Come again?
Industrial-grade herbicide.
Where'd you get that? Willem is not gonna like this.
Is that even important right now?
Yeah? This childish prank of yours has caused no shortage of struggle, no shortage of chaos for everyone here. Her feathers bristle and her expression changes.
Prank? Excuse me, but would you be a fool to dismiss my most ingenious machinations as a mere prank?
Well, that struck a nerve.
You see, I'd already made up my mind last year to secretly annihilate my competition once and for all. For my victory, I was given a grand tour of one of the biggest gardening centers of Shippersburg, including sections normally off limits. Procuring a sample of non-commercial herbicide proved to be quite trivial. All I needed to do was bide my time until the next competition. Which brings us to the fateful morning of this competition.
You mean literally today?
Quiet, you knave!
Looks to Raoul, but he just shrugs.
I embarked on a mission most stealthy once I managed to ascertain the location of all the competition pieces. Granted, I was surrounded by too many of them and did not have enough herbicide to ruin them all, but there was no need. I knew immediately which piece was Mr. Drozdov's. I am not above admitting that his stood out from the rest. In the same way that a weed sticks out of a compost heap. I admired the piece like how one might admire a car crash, but knew there was still the risk of the judges being fooled by this veneer of amateurism. As chemicals in hand did I strike. My victory would at last be assured. I would deal so severe a blow to Mr. Drozdov's career that he would surely never deign to cross me again. I didn't know raising an eyebrow condescendingly at a child supervillain scheme was going to be part of my experience today. I'll just wait for her cackling to subside. In any case, such was my plan, but unfortunately it seems I was not the first to play my hand. No sooner had I completed my plan than vines started shrouding from the piece. Turned to run, but I was unable to escape in time. The plants turned monstrous and burst out in every direction, locking me inside in the process. Until you law finally saw fit to free me, which, by the way, took you long enough. You have any idea—
She stops mid-sentence, continuing to wave her arms about. Okay, that clears up what you did, but there's still some loose ends. I'm no expert, but I don't think industrial herbicides can cause whatever the heck all this is. Herbicides by itself? No.
See, I'm innocent.
But if mixed with wrong chemical compounds, then perhaps. I feel Raoul wincing next to me. Aline lets out the softest little giggle I've ever heard anyone make.
But who would do such a thing?
Milo bristles and his voice is cold as ice. Why don't we ask Mr. Genius Inventor, As much as I hate to admit it, we need answers. What exactly did you do to Milo's piece? Raoul rubs the bridge of his snout. It was a simple growth formula that may have been experimental, but it showed promise. Yes. And for whatever reason, you deemed my contest piece to be perfect test subject. I just put some of it in the greenhouse's water supply. All I did was try to help you win. Crow looks away from Raoul in my general direction, though I don't think he's actually taking note of me. I did not ask for your help. He sputters. You never ask anyone for help. Everyone needs help sometimes. Figured you might actually win first prize this year with a little assistance. So then you did not think I could win competition. Milo slowly turns toward the boss again, not meeting his eyes directly. Of course you could have. This was just going to make it a little easier. If it hadn't been for this girl's herbicides meddling with my growth formula, there would have been no contest. For all these years, you still understand nothing! There is a reason I keep Greenhouse off limits, even to you. His index is pointed aggressively at Raoul's chest. I have cultivated botanical skills over decades. I studied, I experimented, I failed more times than I can count, but I learned and I grew. The journey was mine and mine alone. It was rewarding. I did not want to win at all costs, Dawnhound. I wanted to win on my own terms, on my own merit. You took that away from me. For a few agonizing moments, we all just stand there. Milo's hulking frame is virtually towering over us, his breaths barely containing his fury. Any response from Raoul goes unheard as a loud rumble shakes the room. The giant clump I noticed from before seems to be pulsating, like some sort of messed up beating heart. Flowers on it go in full bloom, branches creak and snap. Oh, hi there. I thought I'd seen it all today, but it seems the universe still has some surprises in store. I just got a DM. Hang on. Alright. There we go, that's taken care of. Okay, Goobert. I haven't seen it all today, but it seems the universe still has some surprises in store. Put myself between Alina and whatever the hell this is before it snaps open like a creepy walnut. Inside is a creature, not unlike the one we've seen from earlier, but bigger. Far bigger. Its limbs are almost proper trees in their own right, attached to a torso about the size of Ahab's entire body, its head looking skull-like in nature. Milo and Raoul get into combat positions, but it only gives them a cursory glance before stretching out a limb slowly. As it extends its fingers, the flowers around it wither. The creature tilts its skull face. Looks like we're not the only ones confused. It's my piece. I see it too. It's lodged deep in there. So far it's barely visible, but it's the amber shard.
It didn't look like that before.
Tell me, creature, do you speak as well? It retracts its claw-like hand, turning its head slowly, like with the sound like rustling bushes. You. I know you. Have observed you. Am I speaking to plants or creature whose essence was encased in amber eons ago? Mulls over that question, inspecting its rugged limbs one by one. At least it isn't attacking us yet, that's a start. I am both. I am neither. I am new. We're in control of the other creatures. Control? Once more tilts his head. No. Master gave me life. And I gave them life in return. They may have pieces of me. Thoughts, questions, answers, but they are their own beings. They used to be one, and now they are many. That's what the one from before said, right?
There's more of these guys?
We may have met one or two of his friends. If I may be allowed an inquisitorious remark of my own, where am I? You're in Batavia, Shippersburg to be exact. These words you speak, I do not recognize them. What do you remember from before? I'm not going to keep doing the echo. My memories blur. I remember warmth. I remember a forest of verdant green, the crunch of sand and earth beneath my feet. I remember being touched. I remember being loved. Remember loving in turn. I'm standing up again. Alright, there we go. Remember loving in turn. I remember ending. I remember. Starts shaking erratically, ripping a hole through the ceiling. Are you okay? One thing at a time. It tosses its head back, letting out a loud cry. Then it charges forward, blindly, straight through the door. Sounds of shattering glass ring out from the hallway.
What was that all about?
I think it got overwhelmed. Didn't seem to mean us harm, at least. We should go after it. There's no telling what it'll do to the city if it escapes in this state. Oh, fuck. I turned off my computer monitor. I turned it off. Pure accident. We should go. After it. There's no telling what it'll do to the city if it escapes in this state. No, you have done enough. He readies the gardening shears. I will go. You take Aline to safety. Nonsense. We're the ones equipped for the job. Duskhound, leave City Hall. Take Dawnhound with you. Are you going to be okay? Yes, assistance will only slow me down. I am done here. I am off to fight Root of Problem. Yeah, the child is absolutely shook. He storms off into the overgrown thicket as the boss and I escort a very much unwilling child toward the closest exit.
Can I stay and watch the fight? I promise I'll be good.
Starting to question whether that's even possible. But thankfully, that's not my call to make. No can do, Missy. Your uncle must be worried sick about you. Besides, it's going to be more dangerous in there. There's no telling what might happen if you got snatched up by those things again.
Well, alright, if you say so.
We say so. I shoo her onward as gently as I can, making sure none of the vines are slithering after us. Much to my chagrin, the first face I see upon opening the door is Emil's. His mouth frightens me so much I instinctively slam the door shut on his extended arm. Even though it's trapped, it still wiggles around enough to lift the tape recorder to my lips.
What is the current status inside? Speak loudly and clearly into the recorder.
We're, fixing things. You mind taking a step back? Someone wants to leave.
Are the plants indeed carnivorous?
I don't know,
because that's what the current prevailing opinion.
Prevailing how?
Well, I mostly came up with it myself.
Why are you even yelling?
I'm not yelling, I'm projecting my voice like on-screen reporters do.
Ronan opened the door just a little bit for Aline to pass through. Tell the press I don't have a comment.
But I am the
Yeah, take her to Willem, okay? I shove the arm back and close the door. We're gonna leave off here tonight because I'm about to explode. And I have to run errands. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.